What's up, dude? Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Let's just jump right into it and talk about some murder. Stacey Ruth Daniels was born July 24th, 1967 to Jerry and Judy Daniels. She met her husband, Michael Wallace, when she was only 17 in 1985. They got married and had their first daughter, Ashley, soon after in 1988. In 91, Bree, their second daughter, was born. Stacey worked at an ambulance dispatch company and Michael worked nights as a mechanic. They were not a financially well-off family, and according to Stacey, Michael was very close to Bree, their second daughter, and allegedly showed her a noticeable amount of favoritism that Stacey felt she had to make up for by becoming best friends with the couple's eldest daughter, Ashley. The couple eventually grew apart, and it was rumored that each one of them was having separate affairs. Michael began feeling ill sporadically in late 99. His family members remember some of his symptoms as him being unsteady, coughing, and being swollen. Like, I'm sure his face looked somewhat swollen, is what that means. They encouraged him to seek medical attention over the holiday season, but he passed away in early 2000 before he even had a chance to seek any medical attention. Ashley, who was 12 at the time, was alone with him when he passed. She did notice that he looked ill but thought nothing about it, which isn't unusual since he had been looking sick off and on over the past few months. And also, she was 12. What was she supposed to do? Force her dad to go to the hospital? Stacey was told by physicians, that he passed from a heart attack. Michael's sister was skeptical and wanted an autopsy for him done, but Stacey refused and said that she believed what the doctors said. Nothing super unusual about that, but just wait till we talk about her second husband. In 2003, Stacey remarried to David Castor. David owned an air conditioning installation and repair company, and she worked as his office manager. Stacey called the sheriff's office one day in August 2005 at 2 p.m. to report that her husband locked himself in their bedroom after the couple had an argument and he wasn't answering his cell phone. When he didn't show up to work, she got really worried. Stacey had alleged that he was depressed. Sergeant Robert Willoughby wasn't able to get a response from David in the room, so he ended up kicking down the door. Once in the room, Robert found David lying in the room, dead. Lying near him was a container of antifreeze and a glass half full of bright green liquid. Robert says that he remembered Stacey screaming, "He's not dead, he's not dead." The coroner reported that David had committed suicide by drinking a lethal dose of antifreeze. However, the police reported that Stacey's fingerprints were found on the glass that had the antifreeze in it. They also found a turkey baster that had David's DNA on the tip of it. The police began to believe that Stacey had something to do with David's passing. The theory was Stacey used the turkey baster to force-feed David once he got too physically weak. The detectives working on David's case ordered a wiretap on Stacey's home. There were also cameras watching over her house as well as the gravesites of both her husbands. The men had been buried right next to each other at Stacey's request, which I think is kind of odd, but to each their own. The detectives figured that if Stacey really was in love with either of her former husbands, that she would visit their gravesites. However, she never did. To prove that she in fact killed both her husbands, investigators had her first husband, Michael's, body exhumed. After the toxicology report came in, they learned that he had in fact been murdered through antifreeze poisoning. So we're starting to see a theme here. In September of 2007, Stacey began to panic that she was going to be framed for the murders of her husbands. After she found out that investigators had exhumed Michael's body, she began to devise a plan to frame her daughter, Ashley, for the murders. Investigators went to Ashley on the first day of college to question her about her dad's death and inform her that he had died from poisoning and not from a heart attack like they originally suspected. Ashley was of course upset and called her mom. Ashley said that Stacey had invited her to come back to the family home in Liverpool and have a drink together. The next day, Stacey invited Ashley over once again to have a drink. Ashley said that the drink was nasty tasting, that she refused but eventually drank it because she trusted her mom. Honestly, what kid, wouldn't? At that point, she didn't know that anything suspicious was going on. Only 17 hours later, Ashley was found by her sister, Bree, in a coma on her bed. Bree called her mom to get help, and Stacy called 911. She left Ashley's side for a moment, and when she came back, there was a suicide note next to Ashley, just like it magically appeared. In the note, Ashley confesses to killing her dad and stepdad. Stacy was sure to take the note and later give it to the paramedics. After some tests came back, it was revealed that there was a lethal amount of painkillers in Ashley's system. She would have most likely passed away had she not been taken to the hospital just a few minutes earlier. Or later, I should say. If they would have been a few minutes later, then she wouldn't have made it. After Ashley woke up, she was questioned by the police, and she said that the last thing she remembers was her mom making her an alcoholic drink, which she had never done before. She was confused by their questioning and told officers that she never wrote the suicide note. For 2 years, the investigators collected evidence against Stacy for the deaths of her husbands. The prosecutors on the case argued that the suicide note that was computer generated was actually written by Stacy. The prosecution also said that she had murdered her husbands to collect their life insurances and estates. David's will has been changed to exclude his son that he had from a previous marriage to only benefit Stacy. In the end, the trial lasted for 4 weeks. Stacy was sentenced to the maximum of 25 years to life for the murder of David Castor and another 25 years for the attempted murder of Ashley on March 5th, 2009. She was found guilty of second-degree murder in the poisoning death of David and of attempted second-degree murder for overdosing Ashley. She got another 1 1/3 years to 4 years in prison for the forgery of David's will. Ashley and Bree never spoke to their mother again after the trial wrapped up. Bree said, "I was happy that she was guilty because we all know that she's guilty." And Ashley said, "I would have done anything for her, but she tried to kill me instead," which is just wild. Stacy maintains her innocence to this day for the deaths of her husbands and the attempted murder of Ashley. Stacy was found deceased in her cell on the morning of June 11th, 2016. She passed from a heart attack with no evidence of suicide or foul play. So that is the case of the Black Widow, as she's came known as. I thought this one was very interesting. I literally just looked up wives that have killed their husbands, and this was one of like the first ones that popped up. So yeah, leave in the comments below what you guys think, but that is it for me today. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up down below, and don't forget to check out any of my other videos. I will be back again tomorrow morning with another True Crime Courier video, but for right now, that's it for me. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Bye guys.